Move your career further, faster in just 2 days with a Harvard Professional and Executive Development Program. Advance your leadership skills, craft smarter business strategies, build your network, and transform how you work and think to keep your career moving forward. You'll earn a certificate and can add Harvard to your resume with Harvard Professional and Executive Development. Learn more at professional.dce.harvard.edu/Spotify.
Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Hi there, I am Sarah Jane Case, and I'm the host of your new favorite show, Enneagram and Coffee. This podcast is dedicated to discussing the beautiful and hard parts of being human. We discuss the Enneagram, a personality map that is taking over the world, for increased self-compassion, personal growth, and healthier relationships. Listen to Enneagram and Coffee on the iHeart app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome to Book Talk for Book Talk, a literary podcast where we've been deep diving into your favorite novels. This is Jack.
And I'm Amy. And our listeners love to share their thoughts and theories via email and voicemail, so we're sharing them via our weekly mini episodes.
The views expressed by the hosts and listeners are entirely their own and in no way represent the thoughts or intentions of the original author. This podcast is a discussion shared to spark thought and conversation on the characters and themes of this novel.
Spoilers may be discussed with or without warning. Explicit language, as well as themes of sex, violence, abuse, death, and depression, will recur throughout this podcast. Listener discretion is advised.
Would you like multiverse or would you like Tamlin and Reese?
I feel like I'm actually prepared for multiverse now that I've finished.
I think you are too.
Oh, I'm actually excited.
I know.
Can I do the intro?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, folks. Welcome to this week's episode where we're talking about listener emails that are multiverse themed, and I'm very, very excited because this is the first time I can speak to all of SJM's books.
You'll probably be able to, not probably, you will speak to it much better than I can because I can't remember things.
I'm really, really excited.
Oh,
I feel very powerful right now. But FYI, spoilers.
Oh, yeah. I love, okay, powerful. That's an interesting choice. But okay. I love it. This comes from Eleanor. Here is my theory. The Valg, Daglin, and Asteri are all the same. Maybe not the same individuals, but the same species. All drink the magic of the land/people, all take on different forms, all travel from different worlds, and all have creatures they create as their army. Similar, I think we are being told a bigger story. Akatar, where the story of the Daglin was told in the past, Throne of Glass, where the story of the Valg was told in the present, and Crescent City, where it's just the beginning. On to why I don't think Reese is Valg. Maeve is said to have violet eyes, like Reese. However, that is not Maeve's true form. There was possibly a person in Throne of Glass world that might have had violet eyes that Maeve was inspired by. I think that might have been Dorian's bloodline. Before Bryce sees Reese and links the eyes, Rune is described to have blue eyes. One thing we know about Dorian is his sapphire or vibrant blue eyes.
I'm trying to figure out what to respond to. So both Reese and Nyx are described as having crushing blue eyes. Mm-hmm. Both violet and crushing blue. So it kind of goes back and forth. Just want to point that out because that was the last thing we ended on. Is Reese part Valg? Well, we know that Dorian's not part Valg necessarily because he asked the sword, Damaris, which warms at his touch if it's truthful. He asks if he's human, and it warms. So he is human. He's not necessarily Valg, even though his father was inhabited by a Valg, when he impregnated his mother. So there's that. Just putting that out there.
You know so much.
I know so much. And I thought a lot about multiverse stuff while I was listening to the Throne of Glass series. Maeve, I do agree. Maeve's violet eyes are probably part of her form because Valg have yellow eyes. That's why Manon is so powerful, is because she has golden eyes. And all the Valg, Erewhon in particular, have yellow eyes.
Yeah.
So I think yellow eyes is, and I don't know that anybody has yellow eyes.
Wait, in Crescent City,
does Bryce have yellow eyes?
I don't think Bryce has yellow eyes, but doesn't one of her friends, the assassin?
The assassin, does she? I think you might be right.
Yeah, and she looks like Amryn.
Right. Going back to the very first point that Eleanor made, Asteri, Valg, Daglin, I do think they're all connected. Mm-hmm. It's hard to tell what or who, right? Because there are Valg kings, a queen, there are princes and princesses.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who knows? They could be all related. They could not. They could all be from the same world.
Yeah.
I don't have a strong theory. I'm sure Happy Hermit does. But I'll be interested to see how it all comes together in the next Crescent City book.
I'm going to have to re-listen to all of Throne of Glass because it's going to happen. Otherwise, I'm just going to be so lost.
Yeah.
In Crescent City 3. Fine.
You can do it.
I know, but I kind of liked living in it honestly felt like I went through like a 3-day bender.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where it was like, I don't remember anything.
Yeah. It's a fun ride. I really enjoyed the journey.
Oh, I totally had deja vu of this exact conversation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Freaky. This next email comes from Malaya. Thank you for phonetically breaking that down for me. I apologize if I still messed it up. To share a theory to go along with you guys being suspicious of Briar, the human Farah saves along with Elaine in Akawar. One of Manon's 13 is Briar Blackbeak, one of 2 Manon's shadows. Unlike most Blackbeaks, Briar Blackbeak's eyes are blue, just like Akatar Briar. They both have black hair, though Briar Blackbeak dyes her hair black and pale fair skin. Also, should definitely be pointed out that Azriel, Night Court Spy Master, is the one who saves Akatar Briar when Briar Blackbeak is specifically trained as Manon's shadow, a spy that seamlessly lives in the shadow.
I did notice that as well. And it is Manon.
Fucking fuck of a duck.
I'm
not changing anything.
That's fine.
But sorry guys, Manon, I forgot.
It's okay.
Yeah.
No, that is a great connection. I don't know if SJM even remembers that she used the name Briar. Like, it could be intentional, and it could be SJM being like, oops, I like the name Briar.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know.
Fight me. Yeah. I like it. I like to imagine that Briar's coming back.
Actually, it would... So, spoiler for Throne of Glass, because the Manon's 13 die, they sacrifice themselves. What if she was reincarnated as a human in Akatar?
Yeah. You know, the other day I totally forgot. Like, I was watching a video, and it was just like doing the sad thing, and then it was like Manon's 13 died. I was like, what?
It was...
When does that happen?
It was
I totally forgot about
sad, man. I cried like a baby.
During that scene?
Yeah. Talk about... I think I've said this before, not on the podcast, though. SJM did Throne of Glass stakes and loss so well that it makes Akatar look even more cheap than I already felt.
Yeah.
Because she does it so well in Kingdom of Ash and all the books leading up to it.
I genuinely have no memory of the 13 dying. I don't even know how they did it, so don't tell me because I'm going to re-listen to
won't.
it. But like, that's how much of a, like, I don't want to deal with this. Like, I shut down. I blocked things. I blocked the trauma away.
Oh, man. You need to go back and be traumatized.
Yeah.
Fall has officially started here in Los Angeles, and that means we finally get to do fall activities.
I have been counting down the days for when I can go to pumpkin patches, maybe even hit up an apple orchard, and I get to do all of it looking super cute in my Quince boyfriend sweater.
This weather is perfect for my dark academia vibes, and I'm so excited to bust out my washable silk blouse because you know I'm going to be taking pictures.
Quince is known for their Mongolian cashmere sweaters from $50. And that's not all. Quince has so many other amazing things on their website.
All of those items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands.
That includes leather jackets, cotton cardigans, soft denim. Like my entire fall wardrobe is genuinely turning into Quince wardrobe.
By partnering directly with top factories and cutting out the cost of the middleman, we get savings as the customer.
One of my favorite parts about Quince is the fact that they only work with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices. And they still manage to get premium fabrics and finishes for that, luxury feeling for every item that they have.
Get cozy in Quince's high-quality wardrobe essentials. Go to quince.com/booktalk for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/booktalk, BOOKTALK, to get free shipping and 365-day returns. That's quince.com/booktalk.
Move your career further, faster in just 2 days with a Harvard Professional and Executive Development Program. Advance your leadership skills, craft smarter business strategies, build your network, and transform how you work and think to keep your career moving forward. You'll earn a certificate and can add Harvard to your resume with Harvard Professional and Executive Development. Learn more at professional.dce.harvard.edu/Spotify.
This email comes from Sophie. Okay, so she has this is outlined. So 1, there are several avian shifters in Throne of Glass, including the MMC Rowan, who we know has lightning/thunderous powers. The Asteri have already mentioned that they bred the angels, as well as separating the wolves from their Fae bloodlines. Who else has superior lightning powers in Crescent City? Hunt, motherfucking Athalar. I believe that Hunt is a direct descendant from one of the former cadre, whether that be Rowan's line or Vaughan. Vaughan. Vaughan.
Vaughn?
Vaughn. Why the fuck would anyone spell it that way? Okay, so that was 1.
Okay.
Which I kind of like the idea of, because we always say Hunt is from Akatar, but I like the idea of Hunt being from
Throne of Glass.
Okay. 2, Mama Archeron. I don't believe she was Fae or had Fae lineage. I think if she was anything other than human, she would have been a witch, since all 3 daughters display witch-like gifts. The quote-unquote good witches in Throne of Glass disappeared or were hunted for sport when their land died. Baba Yellowlegs was playing a fortune teller in a traveling circus until she was killed by Selena, and the gift of sight was given by the cauldron, Elaine. The 13 died in a flash of glowing light, first light, as a sacrifice for the war, Farah's, also known as Farah's light powers. Lastly, we don't know the full extent of the good witch's powers in Throne of Glass, but we do know that Nesta's god of death-like powers are unknown to the Fae kind in Akatar universe. 3. Oh, well, let's just pause there for a second.
Yeah, let's pause there because I have thoughts.
Okay, give me your thoughts.
In Akawar, remember how we were talking about how Nesta was asking questions about witches and then it goes nowhere?
Yeah.
And now that Nesta has lost her powers in Silver Flames, maybe she'll become a witch.
Mm-hmm.
She's often equated to steel.
Yeah.
Could she be a descendant of the Iron Clan witches?
Yeah, because there's a lot of, they have steel teeth and fingers and...
Right. How
do they kiss with it?
They retract them.
I forgot. Yeah, thank you. That makes sense.
But also Nesta and Manon are very similar.
I would love for them to meet.
Oh, I would love for them to meet as well. So there's that. Could Mother Archeron be a Kraken or an Iron Clan witch? That's an interesting thought. I wonder why she would have died if she truly died.
Well, I mean, they can still die.
Yeah, it feels...
Unless we think that she just bounced, which would be so her.
It would be so her. And I have to offer a correction when the 13 sacrifice themselves and there's a flare of light. It's actually second light because when people die, it's their second light, right?
Oh, right. Well, you're not correcting me, so that's fine.
Oh, no, it would be their first light. Well, I don't know. It could be. Who knows?
Basically,
knows?
dead light.
It's, they
Or
call
death
it the
light king.
yielding.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
I like the idea of her being a witch.
I do like the idea of her being a witch. I don't know if there's enough evidence to prove it.
But, I'll lean in. All right, here's her third point. The bone carver. In Throne of Glass, the ghost of the first queen visits Selena. We know she chooses her to be sacrificed purely on the fact that Dorian looked so much like Gavin that the entirety of the sacrifice was written on a bone to be thrown in the pit underneath the glass castle as payment to the gods of bones, who like secrets. Coincidence? I think not.
I don't remember this. Maybe it was too early on.
So that's one thing that when like Crescent City 2 first came out, everyone was quoting that particular scene because there's so much in that scene in the first Throne of Glass book that is
what everyone goes back to.
Heavy Crescent City.
I'll have to go back and review it.
We're going to take your word for it. That's what we're going to do. But
I could see the connection. I mean,
yeah.
And this is all going back to the idea of Volg. If the bone carver and his siblings are Volg, which we think they are, because the Weaver has black blood.
Yeah.
Then it makes sense that there's maybe some sort of connection.
What's the writing that they use in Throne of Glass again?
Word marks.
Yeah. There's tons of evidence of word marks in ACOTAR world.
Yeah, but they're never called word marks.
Mm-mm. But they were word marks.
Right.
SJM's, right. I think she confirmed it.
Right. Like Tamlin wrote word marks on the cottage door after he took Feyre to help like ward the house or something.
Yeah. That didn't contribute to the conversation, but I said something. All right. 4. All 3 SJM female main characters have a gift of light. Aelin is fire, Feyre is starlight, and Bryce is sunlight. The Valg and Throne of Glass were defeated by light, so I think that the Asteri are going to be opposite, and that's where someone like Daddy Azzy and Rhys would come into play.
I like this idea that they all have something to do with light. Firelight, starlight. You know, Bryce could be described as starlight as well because she's starborn.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting.
I mean, Aelin's probably starborn. At this point, who isn't?
Really, though. Really, though. I mean, Elena, who's her ancestor, wore a crown of stars.
Right? Oh, God. All right.
There was so much star motif.
Okay, everyone
in Throne of Glass.
Anyone who's in this room, raise your hand if you are starborn. Wow, that's both of us.
We must be related.
Yeah, we're starborn. I actually pull out a pack of Starbursts. I was like, did I misunderstand the assignment?
No, in Throne of Glass, there's so much reference to stars.
Yeah.
So much. Just as much as there is in ACOTAR and in Crescent City. So, are they all starborn? Yes, probably. Will they all come together to fight the Asteri, who are described as stars?
The fuck do we know?
Well, because the last one who's dead is Sirius, right?
Black?
No, I thought the name of the last one
of the Asteri?
Of the Asteri is
I don't think
female.
you understand how much I've blocked everything out of my brain.
And Asteri, Aster, is probably comes from Aster, which is also star, by the way.
Okay. Oh.
It's all interconnected
it's all
somehow.
Coming together, SJM. Damn it, I hate when she's good. This is not at all part of the email, but I'll throw it at you. What are your thoughts on them, on Crescent City, Throne of Glass, and ACOTAR being in the same timeline or different times, now that you've read Throne of Glass? Because some people think that Throne of Glass was past, ACOTAR is like not present, but like, you know, like timeline. Like first it was Throne of Glass, then Akatar, then Crescent
like past,
City.
present, future.
Yeah, type of a vibe. But when Aelin falls through the sky, she sees Rhys. And
she sees
SJM
Feyre
confirmed.
pregnant.
Yeah, and SJM confirmed that Bryce comes about 6 months after Nyx is born. However, then we also know that I think Aelin falls through 26 worlds or something like that.
I don't know how many.
She falls. People were linking that to the Nesta's little harp of time.
Interesting. I don't know. I feel like they're all concurrent in some way. I feel like they overlap. I don't know that they're all disparate. I do think, what do I think? I do wonder if the missing Asteri is like Maeve. Is Maeve. Or something to that effect. I'm not quite sure.
All right. Raise your hand if you're the missing Asteri. Oh my God. We're Starborn and the missing Asteri? Wow.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Okay, this one comes from Abby, who Abby says, cheers from Northern Ontario, Canada.
Cheers.
Wow, we did it. International. I love it. I love our Canadians. Chapter 29, Gwen is telling her backstory. Her mother partook in the sacred rite and didn't find out who the father is. My thought, could they be the daughters of Fenril or Connell from Throne of Glass? The only other twins in the multiverse so far are the witch twins in the 13. Also Throne of Glass, I think.
Yeah.
That's what she wrote.
Yeah. Interesting. Because fraternal twins are genetic.
Yeah.
You're genetically predisposed to have twins if you're a fraternal twin. Or if you're the child of a fraternal twin.
And Gwen is a fraternal.
Yes. Her sister had black hair. She had red hair. Fenris and his sister,
Which one's
or his
Fenris
brother.
again? Or is that Throne of Glass?
Yeah, that's Throne of Glass. He's the wolf one.
Right.
Whose brother was also enslaved to Maeve. I don't know. It seems that's assuming they could world walk, which
We don't think anyone can other than the Asteri.
and Maeve.
Yeah.
And it's not like Maeve was letting out that secret. So I don't think so. I don't think that's a high likelihood.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see who her father ends up being. I just like to imagine that, like, I don't know, it feels kind of innocent. She took part of a sacred rite. Mama fucked. Mama fucked hard. Mama fucked in a cave.
I love that but I love that the fucking is sacred.
Right? You know what? False God. Play False God,
Ugh.
Taylor in the background.
Such a
and
good
My
song.
Fucking is Sacred too. All right? This.
It's such a shame that was not part of the Eras Tour set list.
I know. This is a temple. You can't tell, but I'm directing my hands in a certain,
To a certain area.
This comes from Dallas. Oh, so cool. Oh my God. Hey, I was catching up the other day. I was on season 3, episode 5, and realized something that subtly connects Throne of Glass to Akatar. Rhys is using invisible hands on Farah. You know who else can use invisible hands? Has
Dorian.
black hair, sapphire eyes? Tamlin. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, you're right. It's Dorian. You caught me. It might be a stretch, but it's another thing that's connecting them.
Dorian, I said this early on when I started listening to Throne of Glass. Dorian is the prototype for Rhys, and there is so much overlap between the two of them. And Dorian's like the fledgling Rhys if he wasn't brought up in a world where he was taught to master his power. And even Rhys says he relied heavily on Amryn to teach him how to master his power.
Yeah.
I definitely think that they're related.
But will Dorian be as identical? But Dorian's not as identical the way that Rune and Rhys are.
Probably.
Because that means if Dorian's related to Rhys, that means he's related to Rune.
Right.
Because you can't be related to one, not the other.
What if the multiverse are parallel universes and all the bloodlines are the same? And they've replicated themselves across these parallel universes, and they've played out differently because the universes look different.
Okay. Do you think Dorian and Rhys look the same?
I don't know if they're going to look the same, but they've got the same powers.
Yeah.
Because they've got raw magic.
Because Rune and Rhys looking identical was a shocker for me.
Right.
And we know they have similarities. Basically, I'm wondering, let's pretend that we know Rhys and Rune are identical. Let's pretend that Dorian is super similar looking. Foursome. And Farrah just lives her best life.
Oh my gosh. That is the best life.
Right? Like, Rune Dannon, Crown Prince of the Balbaran Fae.
Valbaran Fae, I thought.
Valbar, again, grammar is a choice. And so is pronunciation. It's not one that I adhere to. I don't know if anyone's heard, but Libras are going through their fuck it all era.
Yeah, I can tell for you.
We've entered our villain era, and I was telling Nicole this, and she was like, yeah, but you're still very Libra, so you're also like, but I'm sorry.
I'll be a villain and say sorry at the same time.
Yeah, like, okay, I'm a villain, but like, watch out how I use grammar.
Sorry.
Welcome to my villain era. And our last email comes from Amani. Also, you can find Amani with her handle at It's Not Amani. It's not Armani. Okay, let me just say it for you. ITSNOTARMANI. Let's get to it. Season 1, Episode 5. You guys mentioned Starlight. I'm interested to hear your perspective or theories about the Starlight from the multiverse perspective. In the ACOTAR series, we see Starlight flying through the night sky during Starfall. Crescent City, First Light and Second Light are introduced, and the migration of souls from the Bone Quarter, turning them into First Light and Second Light. I'd like to know if you two and other SJM fans have a similar theory or possibly different ones.
You know what? I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. There was something in Throne of Glass that made me think like, oh, what if this is Starfall? Shoot. I can't recall off the top of my head. I do think it's all interlinked because as we were saying earlier, stars, comparing people to shooting stars, star imagery in architecture and clothes, it is prevalent throughout all three books.
Mm-hmm.
So it would make sense to me that like this First Light, Second Light, Starfall, and there was something else in Throne of Glass that made me think of this as well. I do think it's all interconnected because we know that the universes are connected somehow.
Yeah. Yes. And if it's not, then maybe she shouldn't have used light in any of them.
Maybe she should have thought of different things other than stars.
I feel like at a certain point, her editors must have been like, hey, you're the one who made this be a multiverse situation. I'm going to need you and go and reference every single fucking light thing. Do you think SJM had to go and reread all of Throne of Glass?
Probably.
I'd hire people for that.
Well, if she didn't reread it, she definitely was taking notes.
Yeah.
And like on what she would want to refer back to.
I'm so curious with her process.
Yeah, me too.
One day, we're going to be so big she can't ignore us. And if she still can, I understand.
It's going to kill me that I don't remember.
She's just going to tease out more shit and it's just going to piss me off more.
Yeah. Yep.
But when I'm angry, I'm happy.
And when you're happy, you're angry.
Villain era.
Thank you for listening to this mini episode of Book Talk for Book Talk. We encourage you to rate and subscribe to our show on your preferred podcast listening platform.
We would love to hear your thoughts based on today's conversation. You can submit your comments to our form at booktalkforbooktalk.com or via our Camflare voicemail system. Please visit booktalkforbooktalk.com for more information.
You can also follow us on TikTok or Instagram at the handle Book Talk for Book Talk. Bye!
Fall has officially started here in Los Angeles, and that means we finally get to do fall activities.
I have been counting down the days for when I can go to pumpkin patches, maybe even hit up an apple orchard, and I get to do all of it looking super cute in my Quince boyfriend sweater.
This weather is perfect for my dark academia vibes, and I'm so excited to bust out my washable silk blouse because you know I'm going to be taking pictures.
Quince is known for their Mongolian cashmere sweaters from $50. And that's not all. Quince has so many other amazing things on their website.
All of those items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands.
That includes leather jackets, cotton cardigans, soft denim. Like my entire fall wardrobe is genuinely turning into Quince wardrobe.
By partnering directly with top factories and cutting out the cost of the middleman, we get savings as the customer.
One of my favorite parts about Quince is the fact that they only work with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices. And they still manage to get premium fabrics and finishes for that, luxury feeling for every item that they have.
Get cozy in Quince's high-quality wardrobe essentials. Go to quince.com/booktalk for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/booktalk, BOOKTALK, to get free shipping and 365-day returns. That's quince.com/booktalk.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.